What is the time frame in which the events of Night of the Dragon takes place?
Oh, time frame. Well, obviously it's been a few years since Day of the Dragon. I think it's, I want to say 5 or 6, but I have to go back and look at my notes again. It is about the time. It is about the time when, for instance, Ronan will become in charge of the wizards, and it is at the beginning of course, Malagos's decision, his fatal decision. So that's the best way I can describe the time frame. I don't want to put it any more exact than that because as I said, we're still adjusting certain things.
Okay, when will we know more about Vedwing's fate and plans in Night of the Dragon?
I cannot say at this time.
We had a glimpse of the old gods in your War of the Ancients trilogy.
Yeah.
Will you write more in depth about the old gods in upcoming novels?
It is assumed that will happen at some point. Again, that is something that Blizzard is considering the proper aspect for, no pun intended. When we decide it's the right thing to do, we will do it. Certainly, they were very eager to have me reveal them, and thus it would be odd if we did not follow through.
Could you mention some of the characters we should look forward to see in Night of the Dragon?
Well, as I mentioned, I am hoping to use a Draenei, and I will say there's going to be some, of course there will be dragons involved, but I think some people will be surprised exactly which dragons. They will recognize some and be surprised that they're there. And there will also be some other characters who I think they'll enjoy the fact that of their surprise appearance also. Unfortunately, there's several characters I really can't mention at this point because I would say there is a renegade blood elf involved, very ambitious blood elf, but he's probably the least of the problems at this point.
Will you portray women fighters rather than damsels in distress in your upcoming Warcraft novels?
I think I've done pretty good at showing them as warriors, and I think Verisa saved Ronan at least as much as he saved her. She was certainly no damsel in distress. Sometimes I've had to use that for situations there, but I've tried to make the female characters strong. Tyree is headstrong, so in the manga she's fallen into problems occasionally. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, she's also been the first in battle when needed, and I think you'll see even more of that in the manga, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you plan on reintroducing Verisa and revealing her relationship to the Blood Elves, considering she was a high elf when we last left off? Does she approve of the changes her people have undergone, or is she one of the few remaining high elves who stay true to the old ways?
That's a very good question. Yes, you will see Verisa eventually. And I would have to say, just as a personal matter, that I do not think she would care for the Blood Elf way. She's too much has too much pride in the ways that she followed, and being, of course, with Ronan now, I think she's very much more eager to stay in the High Elf tradition and not follow down the path of the Blood Elf.
Okay. What about new Diablo novels on the horizon?
Well, I am in the process. Actually, I've just finished up working on the Sin War trilogy, which is introduces the groundwork of the Diablo world. We are discussing the possibility of me doing some more Diablo. At this stage, it's a little too early to say exactly what. I hope to continue working with it, and I think you will be seeing more novels, not just from myself, but from some other people as well. It's still a very popular world, and there's still very much to explore.
I'd be very interested to know if we'll ever find out more specifically what Trag'Oul is. The possibilities as well as the implication of his existence drives me nuts, but in a good way.
Yes, there's a lot about Trag'Oul that is very fascinating, and the more we touched upon it when I was writing the trilogy, the more interesting he became. And I certainly, if I'm doing more Diablo, will be working on trying to show more of the elements about him, because there's more to him than I even knew at the beginning.
Next question. What was Hakar, the Houndmaster species? Was he an Eridar?
I'm not saying. That's one we have to hold off on. So.
Okay. Question from Kenzuki. As a fan of Mr. Knaak's Diablo novels, I think he can write a good dark fantasy themed Warcraft story. If Blizzard would let you, would you consider writing a novel based on Sith of Alun questline with the Worgen, Dark Riders, Duskwood, Jitters, Dalaran, Mage Arugal, etc.?
That has some nice elements in it. If the storyline would go as I think it would, I would certainly be very interested in that. I do like the shadowy fantasy, and I think Warcraft has obviously enough elements of that direction. And that would certainly be a good plot line right there to deal with. Again, that depends on what Blizzard thinks would be next best for me to work on. With the different writers, they look at the different ideas they have and say who they think would best bring it out. Obviously, they think I'm very good with the dragons and such. But if there's a plot line like that they would think I might be able to do well with, I'm sure that we would discuss it. I would be happy to work on something like that, actually.
With the last book of Diablo, the Sin War, coming out this month, could you mention a new characters or special events which fans should look forward to?
In the books,
I guess so.
Let's see. In the third book, I'd say I'm going through all the books now. Let's just say there's going to be there's some events in the third book which I think are going to surprise the readers. They may not be expecting some of the things that will happen, especially toward the end there. And I think that when they see the path that not just the main character has done. In addition to the Odyssean's fate, we have his brother Mendel, and what he is following, and as I said, there's going to be a few surprises I think for people in the final chapter of that story.
And outside of the book?
And outside of the book, at this point, everything is a little bit in flux of what we're going to be doing. We are still discussing things in general. I have to hold off, therefore, on any specifics.
Okay, thank you. Diablo fans have been waiting for the announcement of Diablo 3 and lately getting hyped enough.
Yeah.
Why do you taunt us with new tales of Diablo? Do you like torturing us?
What's wrong with torture? No, believe me, I'm as eager as any of them to see Diablo 3. I am writing the novels because A, I enjoy doing it, and B, because Blizzard has asked me to continue doing so. To me, that means that, as I said earlier, it is not a dead world, and no pun intended.
Fans from Diablo 3 community hail you. Any special message you would like to tell the Diablo fans?
Well, first of all, I appreciate that they've been enjoying the stories. I've certainly enjoyed writing them, and all I can say is that I am as eager as they are for another installment of Diablo.
Okay, thank you very much for the interview, and enjoy the rest of your stay in Slovakia, and hopefully you will come back next year.
That would be very nice. That would be very, very nice. Everybody's been wonderful.
Thank you.